Confusion persists over choosing leader of Punjab Congress Legislature Party. Discussion on several names for Chief Minister in the party. Political crisis arose after Captain Arminder Singh's resignation. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar holds bilateral discussions with the visiting Foreign Minister of Saudi Arabia in New Delhi. The two countries have shown immense synergy in bilateral relations. India's COVID vaccination crosses the landmark figure of 80.43 crore doses. Active cases decline, constitute only 0.99% of the country's total positive cases. Anant Chaturdashi being celebrated throughout the country, marking the conclusion of the 10-day Ganesh festivities. Also ceremonial immersion of idols to take place at various rivers and water bodies. In sports, IPL Indian Premier League 2021 is back with its second phase of matches in the UAE. Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians set up a feisty resumption with Rohit and Dhoni all set for the Desert Storm. Hello, you're watching DD India and I'm Preeti presenting the bulletin. Our top story first. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar holds bilateral discussions with the Foreign Minister of Saudi Arabia, Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud in New Delhi this morning. The two countries have shown immense synergy in bilateral relations. Saudi Arabia's Foreign Minister will call on Prime Minister Narendra Modi tomorrow. The Saudi Foreign Minister, who is on a two-day visit, arrived in New Delhi on Saturday evening. Last month, Dr. S. Jaishankar held bilateral talks with Saudi Arabia's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Adel Al Jubair, last month in August. Last month also, Saudi Arabia scrapped the quarantine rule for Indian residents who received both the doses of COVID vaccines in the kingdom and also allowed them to fly back into the country, even though flights from India were still banned for non-residents. And up next, an update on the COVID-19 numbers from across the country. As per the new data by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, the recovery of 38,945 COVID patients in the last 24 hours has increased the cumulative tally of recovered patients to 3,26,71,167. Also, India's recovery rate has increased to 97.68%. Sustained and collaborated efforts by the centre and states and union territories continue the trend of less than 50,000 daily new cases. 30,773 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. Also, the active caseload presently is at 3,32,158. Active cases presently constitute 0.99% of the country's total positive cases. The weekly positivity rate at 2.04%, which is less than 3% for the last 86 days. Also, the daily positivity rate is reported to be 1.97%, which is less than 3% for the last 20 days. The testing capacity across the country continues to be expanded. India has so far conducted over 55 crore 23 lakh cumulative tests. In a landmark achievement, India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed 80 crore landmark milestone. Also, 80 crore 43 lakh 72,331 vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. More than 85 lakh 42,732 vaccine doses have been administered on Saturday. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has congratulated the entire country and the healthcare workers for the achievement of the 80 crore landmark milestone. The last 10 crore COVID vaccine doses were administered in just 11 days. In a major decision for unlocking in Kerala, schools are set for opening for offline classes from 1st of November onwards for classes 1st to 7th and also for 10th and 12th. From 15th of November, rest of the school classes will open as well. Early this week, it was decided to open college for final year graduate and postgraduate students from 4th October. Others in the colleges will also join for offline classes by 18th of October. However, only vaccinated students can attend the classes in colleges. In another major decision, criteria for imposing strict lockdown in localities has been revised from 8 to 10. Also, those places with weekly infection per 1,000 population above 10 alone will undergo triple lockdown. Civil Aviation Ministry has allowed airlines to operate flights at 85% capacity. The ministry has modified its earlier order on 12th of last month, stating that the passenger capacity has been increased from 72.5% to 85%. It said that the decision has been taken after review of current status of scheduled domestic operation and passenger demand for air travel. The ministry said that these changes will be in effect from the date the order was issued until further notice. However, all other COVID-related restrictions will continue. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has shared a video about the auction of gifts and souvenirs received by himself. Also, the Prime Minister said that the auction also includes special mementos of the Olympic heroes. The Prime Minister has appealed to the people to participate in this auction. He said that the proceeds from the auction would be used for Namami Ganga initiative. The political tussle continues in Punjab and the confusion persists over choosing the leader of Punjab Congress Legislature Party. Congress is yet to finalize a new name after Captain Amrinder Singh resigned from the post of Chief Minister yesterday. In the meeting of the Congress Legislature Party held last evening, the party High Command has been empowered to select the Chief Minister. Also, according to the information, Congress is considering many names. Meanwhile, the Congress Legislature Party meeting to be held at 11 a.m. today has been postponed for some time. The meeting is likely to be held after 1 p.m. The Central Congress observer Ajay Maken, Harish Rawat and Harish Chaudhary will also be present at the meeting. All MLAs and ministers have been asked to remain present in the meeting. An interesting turn of events in Punjab. Captain Amrinder Singh resigned as Punjab Chief Minister on Saturday, months before polls, saying he had been humiliated by the Congress High Command and that the Congress is free to appoint whoever they trust. He also said that he would exercise his options when the time comes. To get us more on that, our correspondent Akansha is joining us on phone. Akansha, let us know the confirmed timings. We tell our viewers that after 1 p.m. the meeting will be held to further discuss and decide on the course of action in Punjab. You let us know more.
Yeah, Preeti, after a long spell of infighting in Punjab Congress, the party High Command will soon be deciding on a CM name, anticipating that Punjab Congress will stay united and the fight with the infighting would not be affecting the forthcoming elections. So right now the major challenge is that everybody in the party is satisfied with the name which comes up, and a lot of speculations are going on. There were many names in the morning which were doing rounds, but now two main names, Sunil Jakhar and Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa's name is coming up. And as for the sources, the observers who have come from Delhi, Ajay Maken, Harish Rawat and Harish Chaudhary are sitting with the party Congress chief there in JW here in a private hotel in Chandigarh, and it is said that they are calling up individually the MLAs and asking if they are okay with the names which they are proposing. So the two names which are doing rounds are of Sunil Jakhar and Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa. Preeti.
All right, Akansha, also, talk more about the resignation. It comes at a time, when the state will be preparing for polls soon. How far will it have a bearing on the poll process from here on?
Certainly, because Congress had the maximum, there were 117 seats in total in Punjab, and major share was with Congress. And with Navjot Singh Sidhu made the Congress chief sometime back, did bring a lot of, there were a lot of commotion and there were a lot of unrest, there was underlying tension because they did not get along. The Chief Minister, Captain Amrinder Singh and Navjot Singh Sidhu they did not get along, and it affected the party, and somehow you can say that Navjot Singh Sidhu had been a whistleblower, and under his, when he joined, after that only we could see that more of MLAs were writing to the High Command there in Delhi and were on a complaint mode. Before that also there was some, there had been the MLAs who were not who were not very happy with the functioning of Captain Amrinder Singh. But somehow we can say that after Navjot Singh Sidhu took over, things were quite very clear and they very openly came. And as we know that on Friday, some 60 Congress MLAs, they had more than 60 Congress MLAs wrote to the High Command that they want to change in the leadership. And now, certainly, Captain says that he would, Captain Amrinder Singh has resigned, but he still says that he is still in the Congress, and he would make it a point that Navjot Singh Sidhu is not made the Chief Minister, and he would see that he would still see the interest of Congress and his supporters, and he will be there. They will be there in the Congress, and they will see that no wrongdoing is done to the Congress, considering the forthcoming elections. Preeti.
All right, Akansha, very quickly, also Captain Amrinder Singh, while resigning, has said that he was not satisfied and he was humiliated, in fact, by Congress's high command. Now, this also, again, turned the focus on the internal tussle or internal strife within Congress itself, and the the prime concern from Congress to keep its flock together. So what is your evaluation of another dent in Congress's image and also Congress's prospects in the state?
Certainly, Preeti, if Amrinder Singh stays, then also we all know that they don't get along. Navjot Singh Sidhu doesn't get along. And certainly if he stays in Congress, then also things are not going to be very good. If he goes away, and certainly some of his MLAs would accompany him, his confidants would also go with him. So again, there might be, in any which condition, if Captain Amrinder Singh is there with the Congress, without the Congress, there's going to be a dent in Congress, and certainly other parties are going to be benefiting from that. That is certainly coming as this is very, very clear. But if he stays in Congress also, still he says that I will have my own way. I would oppose whatever has to be opposed. So things are not very cordial for Congress in Punjab as for now.
All right, things are not very cordial for Congress in Punjab. We'll have to wait and watch. Thank you so much, Kansha, for joining us with those inputs. All right, let's turn focus on to other news now. Serbia's Foreign Minister Nikola Selovic has arrived in New Delhi this morning on a two-day visit. The Serbian Foreign Minister will hold bilateral meeting with External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar later in the day today. Minister of State for External Affairs Meenakshi Lekhi will be holding a meeting with Serbian Foreign Minister on Monday. Also, the minister will deliver keynote speech on India-Serbia relations on Monday. The Serbian Foreign Minister will call on Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu before leaving for Doha on Monday. Anant Chaturdashi is being celebrated across the country. Anant Chaturdashi marks the conclusion of the 10-day-long Ganesh festival. Security is in place in Mumbai and its surrounding areas for Lord Ganpati's idol immersion ceremony. Surveillance is being done everywhere with the help of CCTV cameras. Ganesh festivities, ceremonial immersion of idols taking place in various rivers and water bodies with festive and also people are thronging various places. Meanwhile, Mumbai's urban body BMC has taken cranes, swimmers, ambulances, fire brigades and other measures in view of crowding of Ganesh devotees. Shishir Shelar is joining us to get us more on that. Shishir, let us know how is the day progressing there with regard to festivities and also, ceremonies associated with Anant Chaturdashi. Also, there is a concern still of maintaining the COVID protocol and keeping people aware, making sure that people are aware of the COVID protocol and the COVID behavior that has to be followed. Spell out more on that, special measurements, special efforts being made by the administration with regard to this?
Well, absolutely, Preeti. If you look at the current situation here, especially now under the shadow of Corona here, the 10 days Ganesh Utsav festival is concluding today. We have seen a quite simple yet enthusiastic festival since last 10 days here, and people have followed all the COVID protocols, including that the Ganesh Utsav festival is one of the important festival in Maharashtra. State government, local authorities have been briefed up, at various levels. The authorities have also, during all these 10 days here, being the Ganesh Chaturthi is one of the important days, and that's the reason not just in Mumbai but across Maharashtra, the local government, including state government, have taken various measures. Obviously, looking at the pandemic situation at this point in time, various measures have been taken by the local bodies here. For instance, if we talk about Mumbai, the Mumbai Municipal Corporation have taken measures here. They have created a special ponds for the immersion of the Ganesh idols at various locations in Mumbai. At the same time, most important is that the Sarvajanik Ganeshotsav Mandal have been told to provide to follow the COVID appropriate behavior during the immersion process. Now, we also got to know is that the time limit for the immersion process have also been reduced here, and the Sarvajanik Ganeshotsav Mandal have been requested not to carry a big immersion procession due to crowding that we're going to see here. That's the reason most of the Ganeshotsav Mandal, especially the Sarvajanik Ganeshotsav Mandal, are now going to the immersion places, as fast as possible without, gathering many people here, just with a few of their karyakartas. Now, obviously, the same situation we're going to see in Pune also and in Kolhapur also. In normal time, the entire procession, takes place almost 10 to 12 hours, on the Ganesh Chaturthi day here. But today we have seen here in just few hours, most of the big Sarvajanik Ganesha mandals are reaching to the immersion site and concluding the ceremony within the stipulated time frame, which is given by the local authority here. As far as the police is concerned, police have also been deployed at various locations to see that there won't be any crowding across Mumbai and at various locations in other cities also in Maharashtra. At the same time, the state government have also come out with the COVID protocols here and the rules for the Ganeshotsav festival for all the Ganeshotsav mandal.
All right, Shishir, thank you so much for joining in with those inputs. So that was our correspondent Shishir telling us more about the measurements and the efforts which have been made by Mumbai administration, BMC, to ensure that people follow the COVID appropriate behavior, it being Anant Chaturdashi today. And also, let's get to other news now. A group of divers on Saturday held an underwater cleanup drive at a popular diving spot in Batangas province as part of the commemoration of World Cleanup Day. About a dozen divers picked up old diapers, PET bottles, fishing nets and plastic bags stuck on the corals underwater as they scurried through the shores for trash. Now, the trash came after several storms and during the monsoon season, where waste from other parts of the country ended up in beaches and underwater. And back home, a cleanup drive was also organized in Karnataka to commemorate the World Cleanup Day. NCC Air Wing cadets organized the cleanup drive at Panambur Beach in Mangaluru. Also, cadets picked up garbage along the coastline and cleaned it. The initiative was aimed at creating awareness about cleaning of marine debris for the survival of ocean species. World Cleanup Day is held over the course of a 24-hour period on the third Saturday of September annually. World Cleanup Day aims to raise the awareness of mismanaged waste crisis by mobilizing all spheres of society to participate in the cleanup actions. A wildfire that burned for 6 days and devastated forests near a Costa del Sol resort in southern Spain was brought under control as steady rains helped the firefighters. The fire, which had burned through at least 9,670 hectares since it started on Wednesday, is now under control. About 1,000 firefighters, including members of military emergency unit backed by some 50 aircrafts, had worked to put out the blaze, which firefighters have said was one of the most difficult to combat in recent times in Spain. Fanned by strong winds last week, the wildfire spread through the mountainous Sierra Bermeja area over Estepona, a popular spot with British tourists and refugees. That was retirees. Most of the 2,000 people were evacuated and they were allowed back home from Monday evening. Regional Environment Chief Carmen Crespo said on Friday that the blaze appeared to have been started deliberately and the investigators were working to uncover more details. And now an update on Storm Chantu. Japanese weather officials say that Tropical Storm Chantu turned into a low-pressure system over the weekend. The weathermen, however, urged people in the rain-soaked east of the country to stay on guard while the risk of floods and mudslides remain in place. Authorities in Mihama town, Wakayama Prefecture say that they have received dozens of reports of wind damage. However, no report on injury has been reported so far. The Met Agency officials have warned about continuing risk of mudslides, overflowing of rivers, floods in low-lying areas, big swells along the coast and also powerful gusts. On to sports now. IPL, that is Indian Premier League 2021, is back with its second phase of matches in the UAE. Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians will face each other today in the second leg of IPL 2021 being played in the UAE. And this match will be played at Dubai International Stadium. Rohit and Dhoni are all set for the Desert Storm. 29 matches were played in the first leg and now the remaining 31 matches will be played in the UAE. And nutritious diet is the basis for healthy children. Apart from mother's milk, nutritious food is also very important for babies from 6 months to 2 years of age. Let us understand what type of food do these children need for their healthy growth.
Nutritional supplements given from the age of 6 months to the age of 2 years are very important for the development of a child. Breastfeeding of the infant for 2 years with nutritious and complete diet from the age of 6 months is essential for physical development of the child. Along with breastfeeding, these nutritional supplements are extremely important to end child malnutrition.
अनाज के साथ साथ बच्चे को कहते हैं 4 खाद्य पदार्थ उसके हर भोजन में जरूर होने चाहिए, जिसमें दालें हैं, हरी सब्जियां हैं, ऑरेंज कलर की सब्जियां हैं, नॉनवेज है, मांस मछली है और साथ के साथ अंडा भी है और दूध से बनी चीजें हैं.
Babies' dietary supplement foods along with breastfeeding after 6 months of the birth to grow strong and develop fully. During this age of rapid growth and development, mother's milk is not enough for all the necessary nutrition to the babies.
जब 6 महीने पे शुरू करें तो 2 से 3 चमचे के करीब, जो कि 15 ml के करीब है, इससे शुरू करें. 9 महीने पे आके उसको 250 ml की जो कटोरी है उसकी आधी कटोरी खा लेनी चाहिए और 1 साल तक उसको पूरी 1 कटोरी खानी चाहिए. उसके साथ साथ 2 पौष्टिक नाश्ते भी होने चाहिए.
If the children are fed nutritionally rich foods at the right age and time, along with following all the hygienic practices, the problem of malnutrition can be curbed. With Nikhil Singh, Bureau Report, DD News, Delhi.
So that was the health report, and with that we end this bulletin here. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.